This preseason game has now set the new ticket price high for anything that Caitlin Clark, any game she has played in.
We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans.
People were willing to pay up to see Caitlin Clark.
They clearly have a big three, right? It's Caitlin, number first and foremost one, and then Aaliyah Boston, and then Kelsey Mitchell. And so those are your stars. That's the core of your roster.
Caitlin Clark wasn't the only one gaining muscle during the offseason, because the Indiana Fever marketing team is currently dominating the WNBA. In the last week, they unveiled their new campaign, which is as subtle as a root canal without the Novocaine. To put it simply, the Fever are done playing the WNBA's collectivist PR games and pretending they're not the main event. This campaign is a full-fledged offensive assault. It's a double-barreled middle finger to the haters who have spent the past year disparaging Caitlin Clark's records and disparaging the new fans who have literally saved.
Average paid price of $440 per ticket.
Speaking out loud, self-assured, and direct social media posts that finally acknowledge what everyone already knows. The Fever are the team. Caitlin is the attraction, and the league will continue to play in Indiana. Let's get started, but first, if you're excited that the Fever are finally attacking, watch this video and subscribe for more Fever news. I promise you that this season will be an incredible journey.
Somebody moves the needle when people are willing to pay ginormous amount of money. Is that a word? A massive amount of money to see Caitlin Clark play ball.
Fresh Fever campaign. My initial thought was of Christopher Walken from Pull Hall Junkies. When he discusses the lion in this scene, the king of the jungle sits in silence as the other creatures exploit its composure, until at last the lion has had enough and rips everything in its path to pieces.
The WNBA saw a boom like we have never seen. We saw Caitlin Clark come into the league. We saw the Caitlin Clark effect. We saw the influx in fans who flooded to the WNBA, and many of those were there for Caitlin Clark.
The first segment of that speech essentially explains why the Indiana Fever were the clear leader of the WNBA for the previous season, accounting for 45% of the league's total broadcast value. Teams only upgraded to NBA-sized arenas when the Fever were in town, yet for some reason, during the previous. Many people in the WNBA community believed they could make fun of Caitlin, the supporters, and the individuals who changed the league's course during the season and into the offseason.
Caitlin Clark, in that, has become arguably the most influential basketball player in the world, both on the men's and the women's side.
And the Indiana Fever simply accepted it.
Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena is the most in-demand event involving Clark, with a, quote, average paid price of $440 per ticket.
The days of remaining silent, allowing players and even league voices to take cheap shots without retaliating, are over. This season, almost every Indiana Fever game has been chosen for national broadcast, and preseason games are selling out with 15,000 seats gone in minutes. Now that Stephanie White and an elite head coach are in place, along with a fully upgraded championship-caliber roster surrounding the face of women's basketball, the Fever are not only good but dangerous and prepared to run the league. What we're witnessing now is a full-on pushback.
Takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
This video, which was just released, is completely authentic American-made, terror-free swagger. It completely disregards the hype and avoids the spotlight, instead claiming the cultural moment that is currently taking place in the WNBA and being unapologetic about its role and dominance. However, the Fever are going above and beyond simply defending Caitlin Clark or retaliating against the media. They're flat out telling the world that they are the best and making it clear that they don't care what you think.
I mean, that was like my biggest focus in the offseason, is just trying to get stronger and really working on that. And really thankful for Sarah, our strength and conditioning coach, put in a lot of time with me, and we were in here consistently. I think that was the biggest thing for myself, is just having that consistency to be able to work on it for 6 months or whatever it was. So I certainly feel a lot stronger, and I'm a pretty self-aware person. I knew that was going to be a huge part of it, and it's going to help me offensively. It's going to help me defensively. It's going to help me not get as tired throughout games. So yeah, definitely one of the focus points of my off season is just getting stronger. And, even through these 2 practices, like I can certainly feel it.
That phrase our road games sounding like home games is a complete flex. It's not just smart marketing. It's a direct jab at the other teams in the league. It states unequivocally that the Fever have more supporters and are louder, and telling fans to be unapologetic is a direct jab at the media and players who criticize them. It's implying that fans don't have to conform to any predetermined stereotype in order to support the WNBA. They're here, they're loud, they're spending their hard-earned paper money, and they owe no apology to anyone for it. What's even more amazing is that it's all objectively true, and they're finally saying it aloud because
the average paid price for a Fever away game in 2025 was $272, up from $171 in 2024. The average is $197 for a Fever home game, more than double the $92 from last season. Wow.
This video, which was just released, is completely authentic American-made, tariff-free swagger. It completely disregards the hype and avoids the spotlight, instead claiming the cultural moment that is currently taking place in the WNBA and being unapologetic about its role and dominance. However, the Fever are going above and beyond simply defending Caitlin Clark or retaliating against the media. They're flat out telling the world that they are the best and making it clear that they don't care what you think.
Sophie Cunningham is pumped to play with Caitlin Clark, even comparing her new teammate to a WNBA legend.
That man, what did the Hurricanes do? They reversed the Uno and turned a group of jerks into a rallying cry, an identity, and a movement that inspired fans and fostered loyalty. That's what the Fever are doing right now. Just take a look at the clothing they recently unveiled. Don Cherry, a well-known Canadian hockey personality, called the Hurricanes a bunch of jerks because of their unconventional celebrations after winning a game.
I think anytime you play with the GOAT of our team, or the GOAT of our game, you're going to learn a lot. You have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but it doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable. And so you'll see the 5 read the ball down. So it's going to be a little different for other teams to play defense against us as well.
And this is just the beginning. The level of violence in this campaign is unprecedented.
Felt the team was gelling and how she felt about the addition of DeWanna Bonner. She basically said that when she talks, people listen, and she kind of wants to win it all for her. Here it is.
DB's been tremendous, and obviously, not only as a leader, she's a tremendous basketball player too. She's won championships. She knows what it is. So when she speaks, everybody listens. So I think that was a piece of the thing we were missing last year. It's we didn't really have that inside of our locker room. So just really grateful for that, and just the way she talks and she leads, for me as a second-year point guard, I want to win for her. This is the end of her career. She deserves it.
The Fever have been extremely active on social media lately, and that picture of JCS Sheldon having her ankles photographed by Caitlin Clark is god-tier trolling. It's the kind of daring and censored content that you don't often see in the WNBA, and it's sending a message that the confidence emanating from Indiana right now is incredible. They're not just stealing the show, they're living it. This will undoubtedly annoy some WNBA purists, the wrong kind. The ones that advocate for perpetual happiness, sisterhood, and unity over rivalry in the Kumbaya style. But when you have 2 or 3 times the attendance of every other team at every game, and that difference is only going to widen this season, guess what? You have all the joy you require.
Everything is just absolutely new. It feels really good. It feels fresh. It's kind of like when you take your clothes out the dryer, kind of like fresh. It feels different. It feels good because we have new leadership, we got new players, we got vet leadership, and so I think all that combined just makes for a good atmosphere. It feels good.
How does that help you guys elevate even more for the players who are returning?
It makes it easier. I remember this time last year, it didn't feel good. So we have to get that in order first in order for people to start playing well. It's like the domino effect. But I think once your culture is kind of established, how you guys see it now, I think it makes everything else way easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but
And that's a wonderful thing if the other players in the league don't like it. However, what many people fail to realize is that the Fever aren't just there upping the stakes, inviting more formidable competitors, and flexing for show. They're saying, "Come at us."
So all the rookies are in Indiana. They were at the Pacers game, tossing out shirts with the rest of the team. So hot off the presses, the Indiana Fever have dropped a workout video, which has Bree Hall, it has Yvonne Ejim, and it has...
The ultimate goal is to simply turn Caitlin Clark fans into lifelong WNBA fans. As I stated in a previous video and will reiterate, I think this is the season the WNBA finally figures it out, even if they have to plug their nose while taking the medication. To do that, the league must avoid unforced mistakes like allowing jealous media voices and sour player takes to disparage the very fans who are filling arenas, driving record ratings, and bringing life to the sport. The Fever, with their New Now You Know campaign, this isn't about one player or one team. Rather, it's about grabbing attention and building momentum that draws in new fans rather than driving them away. As each day passes, things continue to trend upward for Caitlin Clark of the Fever, the WNBA, and women's basketball in general. They're not just hyping themselves up, they're celebrating their place within the league while elevating it. It's bold, loud, confident, and exactly what the fan base needed. If you're still here, please leave a basketball emoji in the comments section to greet and thank you for watching as the Lions stand up and demonstrate to the world who they truly are.